Okay, I'm John Ezell, and I am the scenic designer for Tin Chimneys. I designed last season title show, and the year before that, hair. I had an extraordinary experience with the LUTs when I was in Madison, Wisconsin, some years after, shortly after I graduated from school. And I was invited to Madison to design a production of The Three Sisters that was to be directed by Margaret Webster, who coincidentally played Masha in the Broadway production of The Seagull, which figures very prominently in Jeffrey Hatcher's play, Tin Chimneys. And one afternoon she said to me, I was designing the set, she was directing. She was quite a celebrated stage director at that point. And one morning she said to me in Madison, I want to go to Tin Chimneys, to Genesee Depot, and have tea this afternoon with the Lunts, and will you drive me? Well, I was thrilled, and I was also terrified to meet them face to face. And so I had the opportunity of eavesdropping that afternoon over a cup of tea on the terrace at Tin Chimneys with these, actually 3 theatrical legends. It was quite intoxicating. Well, the estate itself, of course, is beautiful. It's now on the National Historic Register, and it is a beautiful mansion, both the interior and the exterior, and it is the location where the Lunts retired, withdrew from New York and from Broadway. They spent their summers at Tin Chimneys, and then when they retired from the stage, they lived in Genesee Depot in Wisconsin. In that part of Wisconsin is really quite beautiful. And they often rehearsed there in the 1930s and the 1940s. And there are a number of buildings on the estate. In addition to the house itself, the main house, from which the estate gets its name, Tin Chimneys, and it does indeed have tin chimneys on the roof. There's a rehearsal hall, and there's a poolside changing room, and Alfred Lunt built a house for his mother on the estate, which was referred to as the chicken coop, as a matter of fact. He was wise enough to know that Lynn Fontaine, his wife, and his mother could not happily cohabitate under the same roof, so he built a separate house for her, adjacent to the main house. And I was very familiar with the estate. I had visited it several times, actually, and so we have used that location as literally the reference for the stage set. There's a good deal of foliage, of greenery, exterior in the set, and trees on the stage are always challenging to a designer. And one has to come to terms with the degree of stylization, or how natural do you want to make the impression of the landscape and of the trees that surround the set. And so I think the architectural elements are more straightforward to interpret. But I think that the foliage is much more challenging. What we hope to achieve is a degree of elegance in the exterior that would be consistent with the lifestyle of Alfred Lunt and Lynn Fontaine, because they were very stylish people, and the aura of glamour which surrounded them also followed them everywhere they went, and it certainly permeates the atmosphere at Tin Chimneys.